Okay, welcome to my backtesting stream. So we're diving in to what do we got here? Some August price action of earlier this year. To start off, I'm noticing we have this high. There's all-time highs from like about 2 weeks ago. And what do? We come out and with NQ, we take it out here, fail to reverse. And now we're here. So pretty much all last week was just kind of taking out this high, then not doing much off it. But when we look at YM, we can see that, this day, what are we doing? Just bearish consolidation. What's this? A strength switch. So this is asset resynchronization, in my opinion. Um, and we're seeing ES and NQ like holding above this high, not really doing much, just kind of consolidating, allowing YM to catch up and take this liquidity. So now I think we can expect a new phase in price. Also, what do we get? This reversal candle on YM and just kind of consolidating, and we're just kind of going down slowly. So I think we could expect a bearish phase in price, at least this internal liquidity to these consolidation lows, or at least this consolidation area. But we're gonna wait for a confirmation. So let's go to the 4-hour. Take us to 9 a.m. Alright, so let's analyze our 4-hour chart here. So we closed last week a little bearish, and this was kind of our reversal candle here. You can see it come up, take this high, and expand back down. This was Thursday, it took that high. Friday, it expands down. So just a reversal signature there. And what do we have there? C1, C2, trade the C3, and then reversal gets denied. So interesting. So we're kind of in a continuation here. We get a little retracement back. We get a closure through. What are we doing here? Kind of retracing again. I wouldn't say this is an expansion in any of these areas. So just a little bit of, I'd say more retracement than anything. An overnight on NQ. What do we have? A little bit of London expansion here. Gonna trade up into these fair value gaps and trade down. But overall, yeah, we're looking to get bearish, I think. At least come into some of these daily gaps that were made. If you look at the daily, if we want to go bearish, you want to respect the equilibrium of this candle. And on NQ, it looks like the equilibrium is like right there. Looks like we do so far. There's no closure above it, so yeah, so we're kind of in a continuation here. We have this relevant low that we failed to take out so far, but YM has taken out, and it's kind of just remained below. Like, is that a no? Take out this low, trade through it, kind of respects for a little bit, and then kind of trade back into it, come back down. So I would say that's a failure to reverse at the level, if I'm being honest. Like, we have an SMT there. I'd consider that failure to reverse, and then we have ESO, definitely. So yeah, we're working with an SMT, but we can anticipate this SMT gets broken, and maybe just we're looking for the resynchronizing of assets to continue higher, or we're going to accept value below and keep continue lower. So right now, the way we're kind of retracing on YM, like it was the first one to take out this low. And if we were going to continue, I'd want to see it hit that low, then kind of consolidate below, accepting price below. But it hasn't done that. So for me, that's not a confirmation to continue lower at all. We create this high and this gap. Consolidation range here on ES, and then on NQ, we have also a consolidation range. With highs there, lows there. All right, let's see how we open up price. SMT there to note. What did it take out? This could be an hourly gap here. This could actually be very relevant. So I'm looking at, oh yeah, wow. So we had this London expansion. We're kind of entering a consolidation phase here. What do we take out? We take out this high right there on NQ. What do we have? SMT with a relevant expansion fair value gap here. So if we can get expansion away from that, we also have it on YM technically. YM's super bullish. So weirdly, ES is the middle guy. All right, so NQ is our weakest asset here. So if we are going to go bearish, it's going to be on NQ. On YM, what are we looking for? That's a manipulation of that low. Okay. Yeah, so what does NQ do right away? Comes up and breaks this SMT with ES. At the same time, we've YM almost take out this low, fails to, and kind of reverse, and just like two big wick candles. So that's a lot of chop right off the open. Oh shoot, I gotta plug my computer in. Yes, take out these levels again. Once NQ takes them out. So we're looking at like these levels right here. Could be reversal signature here. Wish I had order flow right now. Inverse of that fair value gap. Yes, trades higher. So right now, what do we really have? On IQ. We've kind of retracement. We have expansion here, bearish expansion. So we're kind of in a continuation here. We have expansion, we have retracement here, respecting like kind of the 50% of this gap. And then we're looking for closure down through. We're deep in the move and we're at internal liquidity. What would we be chasing? Probably these lows. Oh yeah, we have these failure swing lows, which are relevant. So, I mean, we have liquidity to be taken out before we go higher. Inverse that fair value gap, put it on these highs. What are we going to trade down to? These, we're going to go for 2R, go break even at that relevant low. that low. That's a break even trade. So see if it would have played out though. No. Yes. I mean, once you see this low tapped, that's already 1 hour. Oh, I can't open this again. Not a bad trade, but not like $1 million trade because you're just not getting the right risk to reward like right off the bat. Like we know where this low wants to be taken, and once it hits this low and kind of reverses into this level again, like both sides of the range have been taken out, you can just expect this to chop out for the rest of the day. Really, there's nothing we want to trade here, and it's just you're likely to get stopped out for the rest of the day. So, um, really what we're working with is honestly an untradeable market. And why do I say this? Like we have all this overnight expansion, like Asia session and then London session, just a lot of expansions, more expansion than we saw in New York, really. So it's not really like a great trading environment. Is it a good trade? Yes, because of all the confluences. We had this SMT. We already had a relevant. We had YM come up, break the SMT, the weekly SMT, and then we all continued or expanded off of that. Um, so we had asset resynchronization logic here, where we break through this high, or this SMT with ES, and then expand off of it. So what was ES waiting for? The market was waiting for NQ to come out and take this and tap into this fair value gap on the hourly, which it does, and then we get the SMT off of it. So I mean, you can take 1R there. That's not bad. And like if you're trading 2R, you're kind of just like gambling if you're expecting it because there's no clear liquidity. So realistically, I don't know. You probably want to pull that out. Yeah, look at this chop though. Yeah, so not a very relevant market to be in. But we're gonna write that down as a break even. So give me a minute. Noble. Nothing wrong with a break even trade. But when we're back testing, we're kind of just looking for 2R, like no matter what. Um, we're not like managing risk like that. But if you're in a real market situation and you have a relevant low like that and you like the move isn't that clean, like you're definitely pulling that trade out at 1R. So but considering everything, that's a good trade. I'm happy with that. Just the environment that we were in was an A plus, and that's probably the most important thing. Is being in an A plus environment. For the longest time, I thought being able to trade in any environment was like my goal, and like I wanted to be so good at trading. I could trade whenever I want in any environment, like in a job market, whatever. It took me a little bit to realize like knowing when not to trade is actually more valuable than being able to trade in any environment. So just something to note there. Yeah, so we take out these highs. This is the Monday opening. What do we have here? I think we have a PSP. Does it tell us anything though? We fail to take out these lows on ES. We've been took out these lows on NQ. We failed to reverse off of them. And here we also still remain above these lows from 2 days ago. I'd say it's more just consolidation day, really. Like we're kind of trading inside of range now. So honestly, look for either of these two ends to be manipulated. But I wouldn't say that they really told us anything like about direction of where we want to go. I still think my my bias is bearish, but I'm not marrying anything. So what do we have? We have yesterday's range, and we can note that we take out yesterday's lows. Was that 6 o'clock? Is during London session? Take out yesterday's lows and go up and take out the highs. So we break this consolidation with a manipulation of the consolidation lows. We go up at and take the highs. So what maybe could we be entering a broadening formation model? Um, so we could look to trade from like this high to this low. But now that I'm looking on NQ, like we don't see any of the manipulation we see on YM. Like they look pretty desynchronized right now. We're kind of looking at this range. Both YM and NQ. So let's check the 4 hourly chart. 4 hour. We tap into nothing relevant. Hmm. We take out these highs or these lows. I mean, on YM. What can we notice on NQ? We fail to take out these highs or these lows. Shit. Um, but this is our C2, C1, C2. It's a bit of a weird model here, but this isn't like a trade. Like you want to trade the next candle. So if anything, you're gonna wait for the 10 a.m. open of this candle. And I've been learning like 4 hour profiling, and like this wick is too big to trade to expand. So you're gonna wait for this candle, the 10 a.m. at least the 10 a.m. candle to open if you want to go bullish. But we're gonna obviously see because we had zero manipulation on NQ. We're up here in the range. We're kind of holding down, but we also like didn't manipulate these lows, so no liquidity has been taken. And also on ES, same thing. So I kind of like this consolidation because I feel like we'll get a lot of volatility in market open. So let's jump in. Yeah, we have a solid range here. Yeah, so pre-market lows, pre-market highs. ES is higher in the range than NQ, and YM is just like kind of doing its own thing. It's kind of hasn't really successfully reversed off of these highs. So, but it hasn't not like it's kind of consolidating down. So nothing too insane yet. Okay, so NQ trades through, and as I was saying, if this is a small wick, let's check out the 4 hourly, 4 hour candle. Why do I keep saying that? This next candle becomes our expansion candle. So we kind of manipulate here. What does ES do? Let's check. ES fails to manipulate this low, creating an SMT. I mean, this is the low. NQ actually just took out that relevant low from 2 days ago. So ES or YM even could be the trade. I want to see all three assets expand. Let's say we got in here. What could go wrong with this trade? We're in at 9:39. It's still a little bit early. Like you still have that first 15-minute candle, which can a lot of times you stopped out. Wow, look at ES. very strong. Yeah, it could manipulate off these highs, these range highs. But honestly, like this is the ideal. Like you want to see this liquidity taken. YM remained high in the range. Like this is a good setup. Consolidating. Structure broke on other assets. So what do? We create lower lows here after manipulating that low. Yes, it's kind of consolidated, but it's holding range. YM is kind of, as I was saying on my last trade analysis, if you take this high and then you kind of consolidate in a downwards motion as the leading asset, this is a good time to pull out your trade. So yeah, you're taking a little loss probably at this low, but you might save yourself from losing. So I'm pulling out this trade right here, probably losing $50. I mean, if you're risking 500. Without shit. Hmm. Let's just pretend I said nothing. Okay, but I'm a genius. Stressful. Let's say you did let it ride, it hits 1.5, that's a break even trade. Let's say you did pull out, it's you lose $50. Um, Either way, I feel like at this point your logic is kind of broken. Like if you have to see NQ continue to expand when you see it make this new low, your structure is broken. Like that's no longer really a valid trade, in my opinion. And then ES, what does it do? It also, oh wow, it fails to take this high. That YM and NQ, I'm pretty sure swept. Oh wait, no, what am I talking about? Yeah, so really you have an SMT. YM takes out like all this liquidity. Fails to take out these highs. Reverses down. Bias was just wrong. Going into the day, we actually had a bearish bias, like just on the week. So that kind of sucks, but I don't know. Not everything plays out, I guess. Gotta remember that sometimes. It's hard. But like, yeah, we're in a weird phase of price and then NQ, big bearish movement. So where are we trading? I feel like this SMT has kind of been confirmed, but YM is like just failing to expand. Where are we trading to these daily gaps? So trading from external to internal, we have all these daily gaps, and if you go to the 4 hour, get rid of these lines. If you go to the 4 hour, I'm sure we have a bunch of 4 hour gaps. We just trade into this one. Low resistance lows all the way down to this. We haven't switched. We haven't really confirmed a CISD on the 4 hour yet. I would say it's below this low, where you can start to think like it might continue down to this low. So right now, we just traded into this internal liquidity, this fair value gap. We're in an uptrend overall. What can we expect? And we disrespect it on this, take out this bit of liquidity in these fair value gaps. Now we have this liquidity in these fair value gaps on NQ. We have an SMT with ES and with YM. Failure to really reverse off of these. So this low to target today. Thank you. Yes. So if we're going bearish, which it looks like we might be looking for a continuation entry. If we're going bearish, it's going to be on NQ. It's our weakest asset. And it looks like NQ is just in search of some liquidity down there. Perfectly create a range. Look at that. It's beautiful. Yeah, that's nice. Let's check the 4-hour. We have this fair value gap made in Asia. What does London do? Tap into it. This is our C1, C2. Small wick here. We can expect some bearish expansion, maybe at 9:30. YM. YM's been weird. So I'm just marking out like relevant pre-market lows and highs. Like this. Maybe a target for the day right there. Looks like, yes, I already took out this range high right here. So we have here S&T. And obviously, like, I feel like YM's kind of desynchronized right now. It's hard to really take anything out of context from there. All right, so market open. Yes, is looking to take out this high again. Takes it out for the second time now. What do we get? NQ expansion, SMT in this gap. Already looking for NQ shorts, just based on like we're respecting these fair value gaps down. This is 9:35. Yeah, you have an SMT with a YM there. And NQ, we get expansion away, it looks like. Let's check out NQ. So let's check out YM. I guess it opened high. Into this high. When the markets do this, they're like, you're not supposed to trade until you see them kind of resynchronize. So YM's the first one to break. So I feel like we're missing this move on YM. Like we've been chasing this shit all day. We get that SMT confirmation on ES, but YM just throws everything off. But it's getting this bearish closure. So now I feel like we were looking for more of an continuation entry. So we failed to manipulate, close through again. What do we want? These relevant lows. See how he reacts here. Jesus. You've got to be kidding me. I hate YM. I'll be honest, like that's on me for not being able to pull the trigger. Like we have really strong draws on liquidity on NQ, and we're expecting continuation into these lows and these fair value gaps. We hit these lows. We had the small wick on the 4 hour. We had the C2. Okay, so all right, so we hit that liquidity. Now we're still trading towards that liquidity, so it hasn't been taken out yet. That's the main goal right there for today. Possible target. So can we still get 2 hour out of this? You know, on the 5 minute, because we know where we're going. It's inevitable. So we take a short position here. Bet on yes. That's literally where we're going. So NQ is right here. Yeah, overall just frustrating. I'm really frustrated with myself because I feel like I should have been in this already. Betting a 1.3. And trading 2 hour, like, I mean, listen, when you have liquidity, like you don't get this trade every single day. You don't even get this trade every single week when you have liquidity like that and a movement like that. And we called out like I just hate getting in off like the 9:33 open. Like hate getting in right away, honestly. But we were talking about that SMT with ES and like we're the whole time we were talking about getting bearish. And even at this level, like get a little retracement here, which is fire because it allows us to get a 1.3. Where is it like there on the 3 minute? It allows us to get a 1.3 R trade, which is great. And it's not nothing on the day, but it's just I feel like we left a lot on the table. Yeah, and then you kind of reverse. So looking for a continue or just a lagging asset logic trade on ES might be tough, but later in the week, like if we don't fully reverse off of this level, then you kind of expect the other assets to trade. And when you have all three assets expanding like this, or at least ES also expanding like this, like you can kind of expect it to go take that low when you look on the 4 hour. Like we're chasing this when you have ES expanding as well. It's not crazy to say that like ES could also take it out, and then we have YM. Oh, YM. What the hell? So I'm writing that one down as 1.31 win. And I'm never taking a 1.31 unless the trade is that obvious, like ripping till there's like that strong liquidity. So I'm gonna end the stream here. Probably gonna do some more of my own. I just feel like I'm not explaining this stuff well, and I want to, but I feel like I just want to do it on my own for a little bit. Um, Overall in that session, we technically went like, well, we took a loss of $50 on that one, so we technically are around 1R, which isn't losing. That's not losing. So whatever. But yeah, thanks.